Hey there, friends and followers. We're coming right back around at you with the latest monthly market report, that of which for the month of August 2022. Hang out for the next few minutes as we dive into some statistics, news, and much more. So yes, as always, welcome back. So while we are still feeling the summer heat here in the Sunshine State, we've began to creep that much closer to the transition into the fall season. I think most would agree that this year has been anything but ordinary. The Fed and the mortgage interest rates have kept us on a continuous roller coaster ride with yet another hike in just the last couple of weeks, in an effort to battle inflation and the market volatility. While these things do tend to be out of our control, for prospective buyers, it's important to manage and keep in order the things that you can control, like credit scores, personal savings, and debt-to-income ratios. Additionally, Realtor.com recently reported that the national inventory of active listings increased to a record high of 30.7%, and we've already seen an increase in buyer options again in respect to both concessions and contingencies with any given offers. Point being that even with risen interest rates, there is still a demand for homes, and that's not likely to change anytime soon. With that being said, let's take a look at our area's statistics. Checking out single-family home sales here in the Ocala, Marion County area, starting of course with closed sales. Closed sales we did see up 567 closed units versus that of July's 545. This being still a 23% decrease from what we saw in 2021 in this month at 740 closed homes. Sales volume we did see down just a tick, coming in at $193 million versus that of July's $194 million. Average sale price we did also see down, $340,000 average sale price versus July's $357. Median time to contract we did see rise by a few days also, coming in at 15 days in August versus July's 11 days. And average list price received we did finally see break in the transition from July to August, coming in at 99% versus July's 100%. Jumping on over to the inventory side of things, pending homes we did see up 540 pending homes versus July's 529. New listings we did also see up as well. 801 new listings to hit the market versus July's 732. And active inventory as a whole we did also see up 1,469 active homes on the market versus July's 1,303. This being a 49% increase from August 2021 and only 980 homes on the market. The month supply of inventory we did also see rise as well, coming in at 2.3 months supply of inventory versus July's 2.0. The statistics here follow the trend to a T. Home prices slightly coming down, homes taking longer to get under contract due to more options in the marketplace, and a steady supply of inventory continues to grow. With that being said, let's take a look at some marketplace news brought to you, of course, by FloridaRealtors.org. First up, thinking short-term rental or an Airbnb specifically? Well, check this out. Now, it's no surprise that disgruntled Airbnb guests don't hesitate to take to social media platforms to vent about everything from cleaning fees to misleading information in a given listing. But now Airbnb hosts themselves have become increasingly frustrated with not only the platform, but overly disrespectful guests. On message boards and Facebook groups alike, hosts are sharing their own challenges and horror stories. One individual of which claimed that a group of guests was unwilling to leave their property despite receiving a full refund from Airbnb. While incidents like this may seem to go hand in hand with the unregulated short-term rental industry, they are one of a few larger trends impacting these hosts. In fact, a 2021 report from Bloomberg detailed how Airbnb's secretive crisis teams spend millions of dollars to cover up crimes and other publicity nightmares from its listings. Various things like guests absolutely destroying the interior of different properties, certain cities cracking down on unlicensed short-term rentals, levying fines against hosts and requiring expensive permits, and tax collection being called for on behalf of the unit owner versus the platform taking care of that on the host's behalf. A recent study also revealed that numerous different units over the last few years have decreased from being owned by hosts with single properties as they're not able to keep up with others operating multiple units and ultimately being squeezed out of the marketplace. Next up, considering solar sounds great with all things considered. Now more than ever are Florida homeowners considering solar panels for a couple of different reasons. For one, the Inflation Reduction Act signed by President Biden last month increased the federal tax credit from 26% to 30% for utilizing solar for 10 years. And for two, you can get a 1.49% financing for 25 years with some companies. These being huge wins as utility costs have and will continue to rise. However, the age of your roof will certainly play a factor. If you think it will reach the end of its usable life within the next decade, you should consider replacing it before installing any type of solar panel, solar experts say. And if you'll need to replace that roof within the next few years, then you shouldn't even think about installing solar. The cost of an installation and ultimately a removal of these panels on top of a roof replacement can be a hefty price tag. Reputable solar installers will always ask the homeowner the age and the condition of the roofs and inspect them to ensure that they are up to par. Companies that don't are a huge red flag, as most won't install on a failing roof. In some cases, an increasing number of solar companies are now bundling roof replacements and solar installations into one project that can be financed at a low interest rate over the course of 25 years, the typical warranty period for today's solar panels. However, please note that these special projects may not be qualifiable for the full tax credit back, so checking that detail is going to be best practice. And lastly, the Florida Supreme Court will decide if a Sarasota County resident was entitled to a full homestead property tax exemption after renting out 2 bedrooms to tenants in his home. Starting November 3rd, the Florida Supreme Court will hear arguments on the matter after an appeal via the Sarasota County property appraiser Bill First. The 2nd District Court of Appeal in 2020 rejected a decision by the property appraiser that the Florida homeowner was entitled to a homestead exemption on only 85% of the residents because bedrooms had been rented out. The homeowner then filed a lawsuit to challenge the property appraiser's decision. A Sarasota County Circuit judge sided with the homeowner, and the appeals court agreed that the home should not be divided up for tax purposes. As you may or may not know, by definition, Florida homestead tax exemption allows a deduction from assessed property value for an individual's primary residence. Second residences or income-producing units are generally not tax exempt. Well, there you have it, friends. That has been the monthly market report for the month of August. As always, any questions or any further elaboration on any of this information contained, drop a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe to the page if you are contemplating buying, selling, or investing here in the Ocala, Marion County area or anywhere in the Sunshine State. As always, thanks for tuning in and checking out the videos, and we'll catch you guys on the next.